Tonight, a sobering reminder of how dangerous our roads can be.
I'd say it's a little surreal.
I was just scared and just the blood coming out of my face.
The driver accused of causing this deadly chain reaction crash is sitting in jail tonight, accused of speeding past a runaway truck ramp before plowing through afternoon traffic.
He can't stop, doesn't stop.
80, 90 miles an hour. And that's how fast he hit me.
Tonight, the driver waits for his first court appearance. Parts of I-70 remain closed. And stunned Coloradans can only ask how a tragedy like this can be prevented in the future.
Denver 7 starts right now.
Have you notified hospitals of large incident already? Approximately 12 to 14 vehicles on fire. Shut down the highway.
Tonight, a grim update to this horrifying crash near the Denver West exit of I-70. We now know at least 4 lives were lost, 10 other people were hospitalized, and in total, 28 vehicles involved.
And as we mentioned at the top of this newscast, truck driver Rogel Lázaro Aguilera Mederos is sitting in the Jefferson County Jail, booked on charges connected to this deadly crash. And we are glad you are with us tonight. I'm Ann Trujillo.
And I'm Shannon Ogden. The truck driver's family is here in Colorado and defending their loved one tonight. They say he lost his brakes and he couldn't have done anything to prevent this tragedy.
Jennifer Kovaleski is joining us tonight with the interview you will only see on Denver 7.
Fully involved, a lot of lumber on the road.
Tonight we're hearing inside the firefight.
Approximately 12 to 14 vehicles on fire.
Firefighters out of breath.
Man, this is hard. I need water. Almost out.
Out of water.
We've got multiple hand lines. We're attacking from underneath the bridge.
Struggling to get this massive fire on I-70 under control. We're also learning more about the driver police say caused the deadly crash. 23-year-old Rogel Aguilera Mederos is now in custody. New video shows what investigators believe is his truck speeding and weaving down I-70 East minutes before the crash.
Oh, my God!
Right before this video captures the 18-wheeler flying past traffic near Colorado Mills.
Thank God he's okay, but I also feel badly for the people who have died.
His brother-in-law is still in shock and told us from Houston what they believe happened.
Rogel says that he had an accident, that he had lost the brakes of the tractor trailer, and that he was in the emergency room.
His family says Aguilera Mederos is from Cuba but is a U.S. resident. They also say he had only been a truck driver for a year and transported wood for a company in Houston.
It's too hard to believe.
Right now, the number one focus of the Lakewood Police Department is to fully investigate this crash and to bring justice to these families and for these victims as well.
Lakewood police tell us they do not think the driver intentionally barreled into traffic or was under the influence. Investigators are also looking into potential brake failure, but say the driver is still facing charges.
Without control, it doesn't matter if it's a fully loaded semi or a smaller hatchback. You are responsible for your vehicle as it drives on the roadway.
Jennifer Kovaleski, Denver 7.
And Lakewood police tell us today their number one focus here is to bring justice for these families and victims. And the truck driver still has not been formally charged. That could happen when he appears in court for the first time tomorrow.
So westbound lanes of I-70 have reopened in the area, but because the fire was so intense and burned for so long, the eastbound lanes and the Denver West overpass, they are definitely damaged. And CDOT says it will have to rip up asphalt and repave. And CDOT is making absolutely sure the overpass is structurally sound before anyone can drive on it. So they're hoping the eastbound lanes of I-70 could reopen possibly sometime tomorrow. And we have heard from so many of you in regards to this crash. We keep hearing questions about how fast that big rig was going.
And we wanted to see just how difficult it is to stop a speeding semi. So we sent Denver 7's Jace Larson to a truck driving school to experience that stretch of road for himself.
To see just what it takes to keep one of these under control,
I've been driving for 35 years.
We jumped in the cab with United States driving school instructor Tyree Armstrong. We drove I-70 coming down from the mountains where the brakes of so many truckers get hot.
If the brakes are hot, and I mean extremely hot, they will not react and hold back the cargo or the trailer and the tractor if it's extremely hot. It'll just kind of just be there, feel like a sponge.
It's a misconception, he says, that a trucker can just downshift. Once you take the semi out of gear, you often can't get it into a lower one.
You cannot downshift it. I'm going to show you.
Going faster than a lower gear would allow, with our trailer empty for safety, he showed us what a driver might face.
It goes like that.
The stick shift just won't go into gear.
That's what happens. You can upshift all day, but you can't downshift.
In most cases, you have to match the RPMs with the transmission.
Richard Lammers owns the trucking school. The transmission will simply not accept a downshift when the gears are moving too fast.
There is no solution.
Tyree says most truckers in an emergency are trained to do whatever they can to avoid hitting and injuring someone else.
If they can get it off the road in a safe way, I would tell them put it in the ditch.
Now, one firefighter is out of the hospital after getting hurt while responding to this fire, and West Metro tells us he was hit by debris when something in the fire exploded, and they are rallying around him and thanking the community for all the support.
Well, we've heard so many stories of ordinary heroes in the wake of this crash. Drivers helping other drivers, witnesses dragging hoses in for the fire department.
And then there's Darren Barton. Denver 7's Megan Lopez shows us how this humble man helped save a driver who was trapped in her car.
And I can't believe there's not as many injuries or fatalities of what they're saying has happened. So that's a miracle in itself.
Darren Barton says he's no hero.
I heard the truck plowing through cars, and as I looked, his cab rolled over.
But what he did on this stretch of I-70 yesterday was brave.
As people were running out of it, I ran toward it.
As flames and heavy smoke consumed 24 cars and 4 semi-trucks, Barton and others helped pull people from vehicles.
We were able to get one lady into a private vehicle and get her sent to the hospital.
Doing what they could until emergency responders arrived.
By far the biggest bonfire I've ever seen in my life. I can't imagine the people that were sitting right there in the cars that were running toward me, the heat that they felt. I'm pretty sure there was a lot of them burned.
When firefighters did arrive, people nearby helped drag hoses to the closest fire hydrants for water. Complete strangers coming together in a chaotic situation, doing whatever they could to help. 24 hours later, Barton is back to panhandling, above the same stretch of I-70 where he helped save people. Another anonymous face to the cars passing by once again. But Barton says he didn't do this for the fame. He ran toward those flames because that's what people do. They help each other.
If I was down there, I'd want somebody to come running for me.
Along I-70, Megan Lopez, Denver 7.
And we'll continue to follow the latest updates on this, both on air and online. Look for our in-depth coverage on the denverchannel.com, as well as constant updates on our streaming channel for your Roku, Amazon Fire, or Apple TV.